So I decided to do some intro music at the beginning of this. I've been looking at all of the previous lives, and the beginning starts at different places for Facebook, Instagram. No, I'm not using Instagram. Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And so the beginning is getting cut off. So I had this great idea. What if I use some of this acoustic cinematic music that we've got here in the StreamYard room here? Great. I think I'm going to make a video for tomorrow, a little countdown video, 10 seconds, some kind of fun animation. So if you see this background here that I got today, and the backgrounds that I've been using the last couple shows, and I'll continue to do, these are made in Canva, using Canva AI. So, a big problem in the past with using media assets, backgrounds, stuff for video. So as some of you may or may not know, I have a video production background, used to run a company 5 or 6 years ago now for a while. But that was one of the problems. We don't want to be using other people's work and not crediting it. Now with Canva AI, I've just been creating really nice media assets for content like this, but also all my newsletters. If you look at those pictures, the images for all the newsletters, I created those with Canva AI. I've done some AI video stuff. So just a great resource. Just want to put the idea in your mind that, hey, for any kind of media assets you want to create, Canva AI is a great way to do it. And it's really easy. And then you're not stealing anybody's work. Then like the whole experience feels more like your experience. Like I made this, I made this background. I made this slide here. It makes just everything feels creative, which is what I think the point is of this. And that's the point that we're going to get into here. But the main hook of this live today is this question that came from a client. So I have an offer, but no audience, or I have the audience, but I have no clear offer. Which should I fix first? So very important question that we're going to answer. Hint, it's the offer. And I'm going to share with you the 3 elements that you need to create an offer that gets prospects off of social and buying from you. Because you don't want to just have any old offer. You need something that is easy for them to say yes to. So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to share something that's going to be beneficial around, mindset and what the whole point is of creating content versus having your offer in the first place, and really why content isn't that important when it comes to sales when you don't have an audience that's already converting. So if you're getting mostly word of mouth and referral sales, content is not the most important thing. It's important, but not the most important. And I'll tell you why. Man, I've been having this cold the last couple days. Could hardly even sleep last night. Jeez. I literally slept sitting upright in my bed. Threw the blanket over me. I was just like sitting there, just praying I could fall asleep. Okay. So let's get to this. Let me show you. Let's remove this. Let's get this. So I'm going to share this post that my friend Lisette made today, because it really sparked this important idea about the need for content. Do you need it? Do you not? Is it important? All those people that are out there with lots of followers, do they know something I don't know? How do I do that? How do I get those followers? Whatever. So let's just read what she said here real quick. Am I the only one that is way past caring about the mindset, strategy, or business decisions of Cracker Barrel? So I don't know if you've seen, but there was this uproar in the news the past week because Cracker Barrel, they changed their logo to go from this old country timey font with a guy in it, standing next to the barrel, the classic logo, and they changed it to just a more basic, modern looking logo. They took out the cracker, the guy, and the barrel, and they just made it just the logo with, to make it look modern. And a lot of people were upset about that. A lot of diehard fans of Cracker Barrel thinking, oh, what are you doing making this new age, modern looking logo? You're kind of destroying our culture, our history. or whatever. I agree to some level. The other level, I don't really care. But yeah, it makes me think of what is the intention behind the logo change? Does it have really something to do with, hey, this is going to be something better? This is what our people want? Our customer base wants to see this logo change? Or are they doing it because we want to be more inclusive? Because having a cracker in this logo is somehow offensive and exclusive of other people. In that case, I would not agree. But in the case of, hey, we're just updating our logo, whatever. And maybe it's going to help them get more sales. Who knows? Okay, so the point though, am I the only one who's way past caring about the mindset, strategy, business decisions of Cracker Barrel? Okay, I mean, how about we talk about how authoritarian oligarchs invented Western medicine to push their tech, crude oil as pharma and banking monopolies as avenues for eugenics in plain sight, and has not ever been about actual community building and well-being since. So the main point is this idea of distraction of the media. That, hey, we're all up, at least that's the point that I got out of it. That's not exactly what Lisette's saying here. Thank you, Lisette, for bringing up, she loves to bring up great points that make us think. But what I got out of this is the distraction of the media, distraction of the content race, the audience race that everyone's thinking that we should be occupied with when it comes to growing a business, when really that's not the most important thing. It's not the important thing we should be focusing on. So my idea is that, hey, yeah, we're focused on this Cracker Barrel logo, when if we just looked more to history and understood the cycles of history and all the things that have happened between people, then these things, these news stories that are happening now, these differences and fights between people would not be so potent, because we would be able to have more compassion for others if we understood our human nature more, instead of looking at others like, wow, what a loser jerk, his ideas are differently. If you just looked into the past and saw how party lines flip, ideas change, put yourself in the place of somebody who's in another time in the past in history, and just tried to understand the way that they would think about the world and see how things can be applying today. Just having compassion for people who have differences of opinions would help us a lot. Now, how does that relate to marketing and content, and whether you should be creating lots of content and worrying about that first thing or not? So to me, and what I've seen, because I've talked to lots of clients and prospects that have spent thousands and thousands of dollars for marketing strategies that have gotten them zero results. If you do not buy into a strategy that content is your do-all, end-all, that do not buy into a marketing program, a group, or a pod that's all about creating lots of content and creating nice looking PDFs to go with the content, to have the look, the appearance of having some kind of brand presence, and then not doing anything with it, and then just having a system of content that just runs and you don't do anything about it. You're not even there. You're using ChatGPT to create 30 days of content and just automatically posting. You're using automatic commenting features. If you're doing all that, it's okay, but just know, I just don't think that's actually going to get you any results in terms of sales, because it's not. Because I've talked to, again, lots of these influencers, creators with, if you can call them that, you can only call them that because they have followings, because they have big numbers. But I've talked to many of them, and they tell me they're making no sales. They're telling me it doesn't do anything for their business. Because most of these coaches, consultants, they're getting referral and word of mouth. That is their business. It is not content. It is not the numbers of their audience. It is not the style of their content that looks like what is supposed to be the best style, where it's quick and short and surface level. So that's the point, is that just don't buy into the ideology. Don't buy from any marketer who's just trying to sell you on, hey, let's create a content strategy, a brand guide, and that's going to get you inbound leads. And you're not going to have to, you're going to get inbound leads. All you got to do is post every day using my system, and you're going to do 1 hour of work every week. It's not going to work well. Because now it's not even necessary is the thing. If you want making sales, it's not necessary to create content like that, to even create content whatsoever. This comes down to our topic here. Really the most important thing is having a great offer. Having a great offer. I'll give you an example here of my own experience. So when I first started this coaching business, I was on Facebook, and I spent about a year posting content and engaging with an audience and made 0 sales from it. So I put in a lot of work, posted all the content, engaged with people, left comments, had conversations, and it didn't do much for me. The only time I made a sale was when I sent a DM to a potential prospect. We got on a call and made the sale. Now, what did work, should have gotten rid of this here. What did work was having the right offer. What made me so I had that year of talking, building relationships, and then as soon as I made a great offer, I made 10,000 in sales in 2 weeks, and that was the launching pad for my business, and allowed me to move to Brazil and continue to sustain and grow this coaching business. Now, the offer that I gave, I called it a content in an afternoon session. Create 30 days worth of content in an afternoon session. A bit ironic now that I'm thinking about it. But I wasn't promising that you're going to get lots of leads and sales, and content is the only thing that you want to do. I'm just saying that, hey, if you want a kind of system to create content quickly, we're writing posts every day. I'm going to show you my story seller post writing system so that you can combine your story, your personal anecdotes, and combine that with your offer and your business, so that we have this nice kind of post that is personal and converts at the same time, or at least gets people understanding what your business is and how it works. Okay, much different than something that can actually work, not just pump out AI content and do nothing with it and don't actually do anything yourself. Okay. So I created that offer, and then all those people, a lot of those people that I've been talking to bought that offer from me. Now, why did they buy? So let's go into this first. So if I have an offer but no audience, or I have the audience but no clear offer, what should I fix first? So you should fix your offer first, because you don't need an audience to make sales. You can use the DMs to make sales. That is the fastest method, because if you have a great offer, you send out a certain amount of messages and you get a certain amount of calls, and then you can make sales. Now, it's not easy. It's definitely not the easiest method. It takes time every single day to do outreaches, but it's something that works. And you can put in, the work, put in the year, whatever work of posting every day, but you're still engaging every day to build that audience and get inbound leads. I think you should do both, but if you're going to fix one, you should focus on the offer. Now, what is the offer? What are the 3 elements you should have in this offer to get prospects off of social and buying from you? Next slide, please. All right, here are the 3 elements. 1, it solves a top-of-mind problem. 2, gets quick results. And 3, has low barrier to entry. So let's go through this in the example of my offer. So 1, solves a top-of-mind problem. So this is a kind of problem that your prospect is thinking about. They're actively trying to solve right now. It's something that they feel is important, something that if they could just figure this one thing out, they would have lots of success in their business. Now, generally, no, it's not going to be something like mindset. No, it's not going to be something ambiguous. something like having a new strategy. Those kinds of offers, that's not the best way to have an entry-level offer to get somebody buying from you quickly, buying from you now. We have to go with top of mind problems. So like in the case of my audience coaches and consultants, hey, if I could create lots of content and if I could have a month's worth of content figured out, then that sounds great. So that's what we did. We created that. We created the game plan for 30 days worth of content so they could be creating every day. Like that's like something that I want. I've been trying to figure that out. Okay, so that's top of mind. 2 gets quick results. So again, with like a mindset and a strategy, those are things that they take a lot of time to get results. Changing your mindset takes work, takes time. With a strategy, it takes time to develop that strategy. Then you have to implement it. And that's going to take a long time. So it's not very appealing. It's not very compelling to have an offer from somebody who you don't really know very well, you've never bought before, to buy something that's going to take a lot of time to get going. But to create a month's worth of content in an afternoon session, that's what we're doing. Creating the plan for a month's worth of content in an afternoon. So we do this session in 3-4 hours. So in 3 or 4 hours, you're going to get the results of this offer. That gets you quick. That's really appealing. Sounds like something, much better than what you know in this certain amount of time, you're going to get this result. Not ambiguous like mindset or strategy. You don't know when you're going to see any results. Okay, 3, low barrier to entry. So this is going to be, it's easy to do this, easy to implement. You can do that with price. So this should be an offer that is low priced, maybe around $500 to $2,500. Something that's a no-brainer to say yes to. You're getting tons of value. It's a no-brainer to say yes. That's what low barrier to entry means. Easy to implement. Hey, it's just an afternoon. It's just a few hours. Pick whatever day you want. You don't need to learn any extra skills to do this. You don't have to do any homework before we do this. It's just, hey, afternoon, 3 hours, we get this done. So this is the kind of offer that you should be giving to get prospects off of social and buying from you. This is what's going to be really effective. So it worked for me. It's what works for our clients. All right, that's the show for today. Hey, check the description. If you've got a sales page that's not converting, if you've been worked with an agency in the past, they didn't get you any results as far as your marketing goes. I love doing audits of sales pages. It's part of the methodology for doing outreaches for sales. If you got a sales page that's not converting, I'll take a look at it. I'll give you an audit with a Loom video. Very detailed, actionable audit, free of charge. You can implement these ideas right away with the idea that, hey, if you like what I'm giving you, if you like my ideas, we can have a coffee chat and we can go from there. And then, yes, you can buy and work from me, us, Dave, my partner, Dave. We've been working really hard doing lots of these audits for our clients and for potential prospects. So if that sounds interesting, let me know. Comment breakdown in the comments here, and we'll get that turned around for you within 24 hours. And I promise you will like it a lot. All right, that's the show. See you tomorrow.